Hey guys, Jeramie Vaine. Just wanted to say hello. It's been a little bit crazy start to the year. Super excited about it. Jumped on this last time, talk about the trip to the Caribbean, which I just am catching up from. Happened about a week ago we got back, so really excited about that. I went over to St. Croix to visit good friends Bill Kraft and Isabel Picard. And then we took the boat on over to the British Virgin Islands and we made Tortola the home for the week. And then we had a couple more really good friends join us. So AJ and Chrissy D. Phillips came over from Hope Sound, and then we had Meg Bossy join in on the fun. So we had a really cool setup and just super fun on the islands. We took part in a really good event called the Painkiller Cup, and the Painkiller Cup is a really unique format, team relay. And we actually start on the far east end of Tortola and paddle all the way to Joost Van Dyke, and I believe it's around 17 miles. I used to say 14, but was corrected by some friends this year. So yeah, man, it was unbelievable conditions along the way. Crystal clear water, beautiful weather, a little different than what we got going on here in Florida and from what I'm hearing the rest of the country. But super fun event. Andy Morella's team over at the Painkiller Cup in Hi-Ho put together a super fun time, and we landed on the beach at Joost Van Dyke and went over to Hendo's Hideout. Super good time there, great food, full buffet where you had everything you could imagine for food. So it was a really just neat thing to see. And also, many of us probably have already forgot, but you know, over 18 months ago those guys were smashed with 2 Cat 5 hurricanes, and they are still rebuilding. You know, a lot of times here in the States we get things happen a little quicker. Over there it's taking a lot longer. Simple stuff as roads are still in pretty disarray, but the cool part was being able to put some money back into their economy, move into their restaurants, their grocery stores, and you know, the people are just so friendly and so optimistic and happy. It was a pleasure to be there. But yeah, that race was just amazing. AJ and Chrissy and their team prone paddled it, and you know, so it was just a bunch of really neat things that happened to bring that event together. Ran into our good friend Jessica Sikra over there. Meg joined in with our good friend Andrew Hyatt from St. Croix. So you know, it's just community. Our other good friends from St. Thomas, Tristan and Christian, came over and they put together a really solid team, and it was just a lot of fun. There was a team out of Atlanta, Georgia from High Country Outfitters, so it was just super good time there, and I always really enjoy it. It's one of those events where it's a true feel-good event. Spent some time in the islands, we scored some surf, we went snorkeling, went and just really just soaked up the whole area. So grateful for that one, and got some more exciting news. Right now we're about to get ready for the busy season here in Florida. Next week heading over to Jupiter, so a little bit south of where I'm at now, to the Palm Beach Paddle Fest. It's going to be a really fun race benefiting good causes, and it's a really solid community down here. I've heard a bunch of really good friends coming down to paddle, so I'm really excited to kick that one off. And then right after that we head over to the west coast of Florida for a really unique event, and it's called the Red Bull Privateers, and we get to camp out on an island for the whole weekend. So that's a real special experience. Last year I went over there and I didn't take part in the event. I just kind of managed the time and spent most of my time fishing. So this year I'm going to take part, putting together a team, and it's just going to be a really unique opportunity to kind of do a little bit of beach cleanup. I'm going to definitely do some more fishing. We do a mangrove paddle where they hide treasures throughout the island, and that's part of the race. So just another super fun event. And then after that one I'm heading down to Ponce, Puerto Rico for the Escape from Coffin Island, one of my favorite downwinders and probably the best downwinder here on the East Coast by far. Really unique format. Again, you load up at the Ponce Yacht Club onto boats, and you head 2 miles offshore and 8 miles up, and that's where it all starts. So we head to the east, jump in the water, and the water is so crystal clear it's impossible to describe until you see it. Even in all my trips to the Caribbean, last year when I paddled over there, I was like, oh my god, like it's something you see in the movies. So we start from that island, the horn sounds, we paddle back to the yacht club where there's a dance party waiting. Amazing food once again. My good friends Jan Parata and Team Lexus put it on, and so if you guys want to check out an event and escape this cold weather, put that one on the calendar. Can't wait. And the flights down from JetBlue have been pretty good, and Spirit as well. I heard that JetBlue's charging a little bit more money to fly with your board, but last year I had no issues flying with my boards, no damages, anything else. So there is an option to do that. Remember, if you're flying with JetBlue, you do not have a stand-up paddleboard, you have a surfboard. So put your paddle inside of your bag, pad those bags up and boards up, and away you go. So yeah, that's the recap we've got going on here. Gonna do some other stuff here, some more Facebook Lives. I did launch some other videos. I've been trying something new, been joining the foil craze, so really excited about that aspect. And so those are videos are coming. I launched my first one this weekend. I went out and disregarded everybody's advice and went and paddled out in the ocean, not went behind the boat. Got 2 rides, absolutely fell on my face and laughed the whole time, and it was a really educational, humbling experience. So that was a really good time. And the takeaway from that, I know a lot of you are going to be like, you should have learned behind the boat and you should have did this. Right, I get you. But I needed to learn my way, so as an instructor and a teacher, I wanted to see what it was like in the ocean first and foremost. And it was super humbling. I know behind the boat is the best way, but I wanted to be able to tell the story on both sides. I do have a big water sports background. I came from wakeboarding. I spent time on the hydrofoil before, on the air chair and the sky ski. I've taken some nasty, horrific crashes on that thing. But I do have to say my wipeouts on the sky ski and air chair rival most of my wakeboard crashes and a lot of my hockey hits. So I understand that that is a difficult sport, but the exciting part for me was I wanted to get out in the ocean, fall down, learn how to fall. And the 45-minute to hour and a half session I put in out in the water, for me, was well worth it. It taught me how to paddle out through the waves, then how to paddle the board in really nasty, rough seas, and then also how to crash. And that was the biggest thing I wanted to learn how to do. One of the things we teach you stand-up paddleboarding is always fall away from your equipment. But as the more experience you get, you try to save it. So I had to break that habit. So it was a really good educational day for me. I had a fun time paddling the boards around and really feeling what the foil felt like under my feet. So that was an exciting thing from this past weekend. I haven't been fishing, which I'm a little bit frothing on because we've had these cold fronts push through, and typically when the cold fronts hit, I'll go saltwater fishing, but the ocean's been a little gnarly. So I've been just letting my fishing, excitement chill for a minute, but I'm going to hopefully get out there this week and go to one of my favorite spots in the next day or two. We got some waves right now. I'm going to try to sneak out there here in a minute. But yeah, guys, that's it. Thank you so much for tuning in. You will notice something new. I have redone my website. Super excited about it. A good friend of mine, Lissa Coulter, took care of my website, helped me get it up and running, and kind of gave it a little overhaul. I did it before on my own, and it needed some love, so I'm grateful for that. But thank you guys for tuning in. As always, comments appreciated, feedback. Yeah, love hearing from you guys. Thank you so much, and see you on the water.